Hi guys, it's Barbara and Mark. Welcome back to our channel where we talk all things branding, web design, and online marketing. Today we want to talk about why running your own business stinks. It can really stink sometimes, right?
Yeah. You could have good days and then you can have bad days, but yeah, it could stink sometimes.
For sure. And if you're an entrepreneur, I'm sure that you've probably felt the same way that we felt. We just want to go over a couple things that really stink about running your own business. The first thing is that sometimes it gets really lonely, especially if you are doing everything by yourself. Luckily, we work together, so we have each other to talk to, but if you're running your own business alone, you might not talk to people for a whole day. You might not interact with anybody, and that can be really lonely.
Yeah, days, I would say. Yeah, so that's why we break it up. We go, to the gym, grocery shop. Sometimes we go out for lunch. Like you got to get out because
Yeah,
you're
you
gonna go crazy.
definitely have to get out of the house sometimes and just experience the fresh air and interact with people. Just make sure that you're socializing, otherwise, you can get depressed and feel really lonely.
Yeah. Yep. All right. The next thing is when you run your own business, you're in charge of literally everything. I'm talking taxes, accounting, collections, everything. Support doesn't end. So you gotta you gotta do your research. So, like for example, here in Philadelphia, we have all these crazy taxes for small businesses. We got wage tax and city tax and state tax. It doesn't end. Net tax. I don't even know what that means, but you have to do your research. You got to know what you're getting yourself into before you even think about doing anything. So
Yeah, a lot of times what we're doing the day to day is not website design, which is what we're really passionate about and what we enjoy doing. It's all these other things like the accounting, the dealing with clients, the phone calls, all that kind of stuff. And it's just a part of running a business. So sometimes you're not going to be focusing on the thing that you really are excited about.
yeah,
Just the way it
that's
is.
how it is for every business. Yeah, yeah,
Another thing that stinks about running your own business is that your income isn't always steady. Sometimes you'll have a really great month where you're making tons of money, and then other months it just falls flat. And that's just kind of the way it is when you are doing everything on your own.
yeah. Like in our situation, we've been doing this for quite a few years, so we know our slow seasons. We know the holidays is really slow for us, so that's when we can prepare videos like this or more blog content, or that's when we would travel instead of in the middle of summer when we're a little more busy. So what I would recommend is, if you're looking to make that transition between working your corporate job to running a business, like figure out when it is that you have your slow months, because every business has slow months. Like it doesn't matter what business you're in, you're going to have some slow times.
Yeah, and if you know what those slow months are, you can prepare for them. So what we do is, September, October, we'll start preparing for the Christmas time, the Christmas season when we are going to be slow, and we can kick out, more content, more marketing stuff. We can work on our blog, we can update our own website, do all the things that maybe we've been neglecting for a while just because we were busy. So if you have kind of a pattern, you can see, okay, these are the months that we're not going to have as much work. I can focus more on promoting my business, so that way next year I don't have to worry about where that income is going to
Yeah.
come from.
Yep. And that ties into the next one, which is you're going to have to learn how to make sacrifices. This is a hard one. And I'll be honest with you, not a lot of people can or want to make sacrifices. So, like, I'll give you some examples in our situation. Our car is almost 10 years old. We have no plans on upgrading it because we don't really care. We don't drive that much, so we don't care about the car. Whereas when I worked a corporate job, if I ever got a decent raise, well, guess what? I would be like, oh, I want to upgrade my car. I
Time
always,
for the new car.
yeah, I think I always, I think I almost always had a car payment when I was working a corporate job, because I'm like, oh, I can upgrade my car. I can do this. When you run your own business, like I said, you're going to have months where you just basically make nothing. And then next month you might do good. I mean, it depends on your business, but when you have that steady paycheck coming in, you learn that when you work in these corporate jobs, that you're just wasting money. Like I would, if I got a decent raise again, I would be like, oh, I'm going to make sure I get the highest cable package. I got HBO and Showtime and all this stuff that you just really don't need. So, like, we learned what I'd like to do at the end of every year. I kind of like to do this where I look to lower my expenses. So, what I mean by that is I recently I had no idea. Like, I lowered my car insurance. I went from Geico to Progressive. I saved like $30, $40 a month right there. All I did was just upgrade my policy, and that I saved money. And so I never thought of it that way. Whereas before, I would always be like, oh, I'll just make sure I get the highest package on everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you're in your own business, all that money that you're spending, you're putting back into your business. At least that's what we do.
Yeah.
We make sacrifices so that we can invest more money into our business, so we can see our business grow. And I think when you're an entrepreneur, that's really how
That's how
you have
do
to
it.
be,
Yeah.
because otherwise you're just, it's not gonna work.
Yeah. Or like if you run your own business and you have a really good month, if you're one of those people that would be like, oh, I made all this money, I'm gonna just buy a car. Just, you can't. That's not a good idea. Like, because the next month you might have nothing. So you have to learn how to make sacrifices. Yeah, and live within your means is probably what I should say.
Yeah, and you just always are going to be investing in your business instead of investing in some of those other things that
Crap.
you were able to invest in when
Yeah.
when you had that 9 to 5 job. Another thing that really stinks about running your own business is that you're always thinking about your business. It's not like when you work in a 9 to 5 job at 5 o'clock, you just kind of turn it off for the day. I'm sometimes up in the middle of the night thinking about things that I need to do for the next day. You're just constantly thinking about it when you're on vacation, when you're out. It's always in the back of your mind. It's not like when you work that corporate job, you're just always thinking about, what can I do next? What can I do to propel my business forward? And that kind of stinks sometimes because it's hard to turn it off.
Yeah. You really can't turn it off. I can't turn it off. I'm like, I've been doing this for, I quit my job 8 months ago, and it's just, yeah, you don't turn it off. Whereas I work my corporate job, and especially Friday, like at 5 p.m., I'm like, all right, I don't have to do anything for the next 2 or 3 days or whatever it may be, the weekend. I don't do anything. But now I'm like, the weekend comes, I'm like, oh. Like, for example, we're recording this video on Memorial Day.
Yeah,
Like,
happy Memorial Day.
Yes. Whereas most people are out, barbecuing or whatever. I was like, let's just make a video. We're doing nothing else. Let's just make a video real quick. So
Yeah, and I think, sometimes it does stink when you're always thinking about it, but it's also a good thing because that means you're passionate about what you're doing and you care about.
yeah, you're not like disconnected. You're always connected to it.
Yeah, you care about the success of your business, whereas when you're working in a job, it's not really your responsibility.
No.
You just kind of clock in and clock out, and you do what you're told.
If you are thinking about that a lot when you're working a corporate job, that means you're ready to start your own business. That means you're a little entrepreneur yourself. So
Right.
get out, because you're just making somebody else rich at that point if you're always thinking about it. And then the next one is your relationships are going to change. So what I mean by that is relationships with your family and your friends they're going to change. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. So what I mean by that is some people they don't understand why you would quit your steady corporate job and work for yourself, and they don't understand it. They question it, and then sometimes some people do get jealous. Like sometimes friends would be like, I want to do that, but I don't want to work to do it. So you're gonna get
And I think sometimes it comes with concern. People are concerned about what you're doing, but they come off as being unsupportive.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of times, in our situation, people will call us like Wednesday in the morning, be like, hey, you want to go to the beach today? And it's like, well, I have to work. And then they get mad. They're like, oh, I thought you quit your 9 to 5 job and you have all this free time now. It's like, well, I don't have free time. I'm running a business, and I need to work so I can make that business grow.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people just don't understand that, because when you have that 9 to 5 job, it's the same every day.
Yeah.
Whereas with us, sometimes, we work 9 to 5. Sometimes we work on the weekends. Sometimes we work at night.
Yeah.
It's not always steady.
Yeah, we dictate the schedule basically.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that we can just drop everything and go to the beach for the day. As much as we would love to do that, we have to get some work done sometimes. And I think people just don't understand that, or they think that when you are an entrepreneur, you have all this free time and you can do whatever you want, but that's not really the case.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed is a lot of our the dynamics have changed a lot, where a lot of our friends now are more entrepreneur. They're running their own business. Whereas before, especially if you're working in a big corporation, you basically just socialize with your coworkers in the corporation, and you would text each other and complain about, somebody in accounting did this, so it's the same thing. You just associate with people that you relate to.
Yeah,
are going
and
through the
that
same
can be a
thing.
good thing too, as you progress in running your business. You're going to meet people that understand where you're at and can help you
Grow.
possibly
That's
take it
you're
to the
growing.
next level.
You're growing your network at that point. Then if you work, with other entrepreneurs, I'm like, hey, we know this other guy who can help you in this industry. So it spreads pretty quick, which is a
Yeah,
good
and
thing.
sometimes family don't understand that, and they will be supportive, but they don't have the resources to really help you grow. I think they might want to help you grow, but they don't really know how you do things or what you need to get your business to that next level. So you're going to start making new friends that can help you, and that's a good thing.
Yep.
So those are just some of the things that stink about running your own business. And if you're an entrepreneur, I'm sure you can relate to a lot of these. If you have any additional things that you think stink about running a business, leave a comment down below. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for new videos every week. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
Thanks.